Okay, well, we started yesterday meeting with clients and provided shelter last night. Today we're continuing to meet with individual families, and we're meeting with the families that lost their homes. So there are 66 units in this complex, and approximately 18 of them have been destroyed or going to be unlivable. So those are the ones that we're meeting with and providing them. Basically, we make a determination: did they lose food, clothing, and shelter? And we work with each family individually because each family has different abilities to recover. So what are their needs, and what can we provide based on those three items? So that's kind of the process right now, is just really sitting down with them, having a conversation, and how can we assist you in your recovery process. There is a lot of other families that are coming to us. There's 46 other units, 48 other units that are affected, and at the moment they can't get back into their apartments because there's the issue of liability. They're really concerned about the structural integrity of the building, so the apartment owners are stabilizing that right now with contractors to make sure that it will be safe to get back in. So it sounds like it's going to be at least Sunday or Monday before people are going to be able to get back in. So we're working hand in hand with the apartment owners to determine what can be done to assist people. And it's an ongoing process, almost minute by minute. We're basically just having conversations with them, giving them ideas. Our guidance only allows us to help people who have been displaced from their home because of destruction to their home, fire, tornado, whatever like that. So those are the people that we can offer financial assistance to. The other, we're just trying to give them every idea based on our knowledge of helping people recover from disaster. So have you checked with family, friends, church, anybody that might be able to give you a place to stay for a few nights that can help you get through this crisis, and then when the building's stabilized, perhaps on Sunday or Monday, then they can get back into their homes. Well, it's based on their individual loss, but overall the American Red Cross provides assistance for food, clothing, and shelter if needed. So do they have a place to stay? Do they have family and friends? Obviously that's going to be much better for them. If you have somebody supporting you, you're going to recover better. And then everybody in those three floors, 18 units, they did lose food and clothing. So we are providing financial assistance to them for those items. That's a great question, because it all comes from the American public. It comes from you and I, people that donate to the American Red Cross. The United Way is a great supporter of the American Red Cross. So the funds that we're able to redistribute to the American public is donations from the public. So people that have been affected are then regifted. We opened a shelter last night, and we had 3 people come. So it's obvious that people would rather not go to a shelter unless they have no other choice. So there's always that possibility out there. If we realize there's a need, then we would open a shelter for those individuals. But as of right now, it's not been identified that people are willing to come to a shelter. Well, for us, we're just, and I was just talking to a caseworker on the phone, we're going to continue working with clients to try to help them continue with this recovery process. See, it's not a one-day process. You can't just, oh, here's some money, and now you're on your way. It's an ongoing process, and we work with them. You know, if they identify needs that they have, we'll work with them to try to identify community partners that can help them. If they having a hard time knowing what's the next step, we sit down and we talk with them and help them develop a plan. So over the next couple weeks, we'll be in contact with them, and they'll be in contact with us, helping them begin the recovery process. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I feel like that is just as important. I don't know if you've heard the saying, but information is probably the most powerful thing that you can provide people. So that's the other thing that we do. We let them tell us their story, what happened, and that way you can identify their needs. What are they able to recover on their own, and what do they need help in the recovery process? So that's what we work with them, and by us listening to them, they realize that we care, and then we take the steps that we can to assist them in that process, identifying and helping them identify, empowering them. Well, it would seem that the food and clothing, they can't get to any of it because of the structural integrity of the building. So now all of a sudden they're having to scramble to either stay in a motel room or to stay with family and friends, and that added burden is quite a strain on most people. So you're fortunate if you have family support base in place to help you.
Okay.
Well, there's just a wide range of people. We have noticed a lot of students, but there is retired individuals, people with kids. So this apartment complex isn't all student housing. It is. I mean, I would say this is probably the biggest mix of society, just kind of like you and I, that live in this apartment complex. And it was full. It's nice apartments, but in this case, something happened and there was a fire. And right, they've been very cooperative. They've allowed us a room to conduct our client casework in. They come and talk to us every time there's an update. They bring us the updated information so that we can share it with our clients. I could not ask for more from the apartment complex owners. They've been very helpful. Well, and that's a good question. I would say most people are kind of, depressed, not knowing what to do. And that's one of the things that the part you talked about, listening to people's stories, that does help them if they're able to talk it out, and we give them ideas, and maybe I hadn't thought of that. So yes, I mean, when you've lost everything, imagine putting yourself in their shoes, what that would feel like. So that's our goal, is to give them guidance, to give them comfort as much as we can. Everybody out there wants to help in some way, right? Whenever a disaster happens, there's two ways that you can help partner with the American Red Cross. You can become a volunteer, and we always need volunteers. An event like this, let's just say that all 66 of those units had burned to the ground. We would need a lot more caseworkers on the ground trying to help them, trying to run a shelter and so forth. So there's always a need for more volunteers. And of course, the American Red Cross exists on the generosity of the American public. So please donate, and that will go help to fund the next disaster. And there will always be another disaster. So
Anything
thank
else?
you. No, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you, I'm sure I understand